What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. Angel Reese is back, y'all. Yeah, she's back. it's like that Eminem song. Guess who's back, 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 back again, again, again. Angel's back, back, back. Tell a friend, friend, friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Angel's back, y'all. She is back. And we got a lot to talk about. So Angel is back. Kateri Poole is not. Samaya Smith is injured, and LSU has a game tomorrow against Virginia Tech. So we gonna get into that, and a lot more. In just a sec. I'ma wait a little bit for to see folks come in. But yeah, we got a whole lot to talk about. A whole lot to talk about when it comes to this LSU team that is. It's just always a lot to say about this LSU team because, I feel like there hasn't really been another team that's been like surrounded by lots of controversy this early in the season as LSU has been. Rightly or wrongly, no judgment on that front, but it just feels like LSU is just everywhere. Everybody's talking about LSU. What's going to happen with the players? Like who's going to start? Who's not going to start? What's going on with Angel Reese? There's a lot. There's a lot for us to talk about, and we are going to get into it. So yeah, guys. The news is official. That Angel Reese is back, and she is going to be playing in tomorrow's game against Virginia Tech. We are going to watch clips from the press release that or press conference that Kim Mulkey had earlier today, sort of announcing what's going on with Angel Reese, and also talking about what's going on with Samaya Smith. So Quentin says, can you speak about the Samaya Smith injury? Yes. So Samaya Smith is a player who I believe she actually did have some injuries when she was in college. And now she has torn a couple of things in her leg. Let's actually hold on. Actually, instead of me talking about it, let me just play for you. What Kim Mulkey said about Samaya Smith's injury. All right. So you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Not to call Kim Mulkey a horse. I'm just saying. You can hear it straight from her. So let me go over to Kim Mulkey right now, so we can hear her, what she has to say about Samaya Smith. All right.
On Samaya, are there any specifics as to the injury?
Yes, and she said I could share it with y'all. Samaya had her other knee torn up in high school, so she's been through this. So it's ACL, MCL, media, meniscus.
And then for
Can't have her surgery until, I don't know if it's the MCL can heal a little bit, so it'll probably be about 3 weeks.
And then for Kateri, is there anything?
Yeah, she's not back with us yet.
All right, so there you go, Quentin. That is what's going on with Samaya Smith.
MCL can heal a little bit, so
let's
meniscus.
Go back.
Other knee.
On Samaya, are there any specifics as to the injury?
Yes, and she said I could share it with y'all. Samaya had her other knee torn up in high school, so she's been through this. So it's ACL, MCL, media, meniscus.
And then for
Can't have her surgery until, I don't know if it's the MCL can heal a little bit, so it'll probably be about 3 weeks.
And then for Kateri, is there anything?
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. ACL, MCL, meniscus. Yeah. Prayers for Samaya Smith, because Samaya Smith has been looking good. I've really enjoyed watching Samaya Smith play. So it's a huge bummer that she is now injured, because she's been bringing in some really, really good minutes for LSU, especially with Angel Reese out. I thought she's done a really good job. So far this year, Samaya Smith has averaged 12 points a game. She's also averaged 7 rebounds as well. And she was 70% from the field. So pretty good, like very good actually. And remember, she's a sophomore, so she's had a pretty good season so far, and it's a bummer that her season has ended with a big injury like this. It's a huge bummer. But yeah, that's what's going on, Quentin, with Samaya Smith. James says LSU is doing the most right now. Yeah. LSU is doing a lot. So let's get into what's going on with Angel Reese. Angel Reese is back. According to Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese will be playing in the game tomorrow versus Virginia Tech. This is a huge game for the LSU Tigers, and they need their best player back, and she will be back for that. So I do want to just pull up a couple of clips from the press conference that Kim Mulkey did that I thought were sort of notable regarding Angel Reese, and so we'll get into that, and then we'll just chat about what's going on. But if y'all can hit that like button, that would be awesome. As y'all come in, please hit that like button. We are going to get into Kim Mulkey's press conference talking about Angel Reese. All right, so let's get into it. All right.
You should have gone into coaching. She will play tomorrow.
How much, there was some figuring out while she was gone, I guess, right? So how much figuring out do you think will be needed now? And again, with Samaya being absent, how much does that kind of prolong that process?
Angel figuring out stuff?
You figuring out the team with her?
It's not that difficult. It's not difficult at all. I've coached Angel for a year. Angel knows our system. Her playing with Morrow a little bit more will take place as we head down the season. But she's played with her in practice and things like that. So them being on the floor together should be really, really good. It may not be smooth, but it should be really good because Morrow's playing really good basketball right now.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Morrow. Obviously, the win over Virginia. Just what did you?
So yeah, Angel Reese is back, and she is going to be playing tomorrow versus Virginia Tech. Let's get into some other things. What up, y'all? Michael says, "What are your thoughts on the LSU freshman other than MK?" I'll get to that in a sec. First, let's talk about Angel Reese, and then we'll get into some of the other players. What up, Vic? What's up, Daryl? Thanks for joining. All right, so let's get into some of the other clips that I thought were pretty interesting in this press conference.
A couple, or can you say, or no practice?
Angel is available to play tomorrow.
So one of the reporters asked about he basically wanted to know how long has Angel Reese been practicing, and this is Kim Mulkey's response.
Hey, Coach, we saw.
But if you want to know, Angel's been practicing. Do you want to know how many hours, how many days, specifics? She's not going to show up tomorrow and play a game.
Hey, Coach, we saw Haley kind of get hobbled at the end of the Virginia game. Is her foot okay?
The bottom of her foot, she's always had issues with plantar. Am I saying it right? Fasciitis. And
y'all, I just sometimes I find Kim Mulkey's responses to questions so funny. Like she's just so like quippy sometimes, and it's just like, oh my goodness. She's kind of funny. And then there was another question about practice, and I want to get to that.
Angel's been practicing. If you're willing to give us a sense of how long she's been practicing, we take that.
Why would I tell you all that? In all seriousness, what difference does it make? Explain to me why you need to know how long she's been practicing. Well, do you think a coach is just going to play a kid that just shows up? Well, I just told you after he asked it that she's been practicing, and didn't I tell you, Kay, she looks great out there, right? So you know she's been practicing by those comments.
Was she practicing before the game?
Well, I would think if she looks good, she has been. But you don't know if she's been practicing with us. You didn't ask that. That's the next question. What difference does it make, guys? A coach is entitled to play who they want, whether they practice with the team or not, right? Right?
Right. I think it doesn't make a difference to you, but it does to the public. Because when we're writing about elite athletes, for example,
So if she looks good, you're going to say she's been practicing with the team the whole time. If she looks bad, you're going to say, oh, coach just threw her out there. It doesn't matter. Angel is back, and we are happy. She's happy. She's available to play Thursday. But I missed your second part of your question. You forgot it.
No, I'm just talking about how you've been through a lot of locker room issues before, and to what extent is it a relief, or would you even use that word, just to get past this?
I'm waiting for y'all to get past it. We're past it. We're past it. We were past it after it happened. Really. I mean, it's just fun to watch them high five and pick each other up off the floor and just do what they do, play basketball. We've been past it. It's just we have to come in here and answer questions, and that becomes aggravating. And you'll get to see Angel. I know all of you will want to see her after the game. Angel will come right here and sit right here and answer any question you have.
That's what we want.
Going totally on a different track, but it is significant.
That is what we want. We want to hear from Angel Reese herself. The woman, the myth, the legend, Angel Reese. Sometimes it's just so funny watching Kim Mulkey do an interview. It is so funny because she's just like, she's like, I'm over it. Why are y'all still talking about this? We're talking about it because like there's some questions that we still want to know. Like what actually happened? What happened? We still don't actually know. Supposedly, what's been said online is that there was some sort of altercation that happened between Angel Reese and Flau'jae. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what I've seen online. There's a lot of just other rumors that's being spread about what's going on in LSU's locker room, and so we want to know what happened. What happened? How long has Angel Reese been back? And how is everything going to look tomorrow? That's like some of the questions that we have. And I'm curious, and I can't wait tomorrow. And when we see Angel Reese at the podium, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So Go Tiger Hoop says Mulkey put business on the bottom of her foot before going into there today. Quinn says, I'm happy Reese is returning, but I hope LSU doesn't stop featuring Anissa Morrow because she has a more established offensive game. So I really don't think that Angel Reese coming back is going to severely hurt Anissa Morrow, only because it feels like Anissa Morrow has her footing for LSU right now. It felt like the first couple games, Anissa Morrow she wasn't looking like her old self. And I would say lately in the last couple games, specifically the last 2 games, Anissa Morrow to me is looking like the player that I saw playing at DePaul, and it's pretty awesome to see. Will she score, the same points that she was scoring this weekend, with Angel Reese back? Maybe not, probably not, but that's okay. I think she's still going to be really, really good. So I don't think Angel Reese coming back is going to be detrimental to Anissa Morrow. Stephanie says, thanks for covering Angel Reese and Kim Mulkey. Yep, no problem. Women's basketball said, no, Kim is hilarious. She is. That lady is funny. That lady is funny. Caitlin says, I like that she ends up saying they will have a chance to ask Angel their questions tomorrow. She stood on not speaking for Angel, and she is going to let her do it herself. Yeah. So we'll find out from Angel tomorrow, or maybe we won't. At least those questions will be asked to Angel tomorrow. On like what happened, how long have you been back with the team, and sort of where's your mindset at right now? That's something that, we want to know. That is definitely something that we want to know. Hey, if y'all can, as y'all come in, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be pretty awesome. That would be awesome. Let's see. Women's basketball says a lot of people think the beef started because of the Lotto video. Is it because Angel Reese was in the video, and like you mean the beef between Angel and Flau'jae? You think that happened because of the Lotto one? Like, is it because Angel Reese was in it and Flau'jae wasn't, or like I don't know. Women's basketball. Share more about that. I didn't hear that that a beef happened particularly from that lotto video. So let me know what you know basically. And also she got to let them do their job. That's Kim Mulkey for you. That is Kim Mulkey for you. And I love it. Like, Kim Mulkey's funny. She's a funny lady. Quinn says it could hurt the spacing due to Angel not being a good shooter. It'll condense the spacing a little bit, but I think, she's still gonna get her points. I think she's still gonna get her points. Oh, thank you so much, DSPN D-Man. Gave me a super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So y'all, we are talking about LSU and what's going on with Angel Reese. We just watched some clips from the press conference earlier today. I'll go back and we'll go back and look at those. But yeah, the news is that Angel Reese is back, Kateri Poole is not, and Samaya Smith is hurt. So let's actually go back to the beginning of that press conference for those who are just joining. We got 120 people watching the stream. What up? What up? What up? What up? We're gonna go back to the beginning just so we can catch everybody up on what's happening. Also, shout out to LSU Tigers on Tiger Bait, that YouTube channel that posted this press conference for us all to enjoy. So we're gonna look at the beginning of that press conference and talk about it.
Because I don't know how to have an opening comment, do I? Katie, it's for you, baby. Just for you. Angel's back, Kateri's not, and Samaya's done for the year. Sadly, she tore her knee up.
Questions? On Samaya, are there any specifics as to the injury?
Yes, and she said I could share it with y'all. Samaya had her other knee torn up in high school, so she's been through this. So it's ACL, MCL, media, meniscus.
And then for
Can't have her surgery until, I don't know if it's the MCL can heal a little bit, so it'll probably be about 3 weeks.
And then for Kateri, is there anything?
Yeah, she's not back with us yet.
So yeah, there we have it. Angel Reese is back. Kateri Poole is not. So here's something that's interesting. So when the media was talking a lot about so when Angel Reese wasn't at some of the games recently, there was a lot of talk about Angel Reese not being at the games. But what a lot of people didn't realize is that Kateri Poole was on the bench. But Kateri Poole was not. She was not playing. She wasn't getting in the game basically. So Kateri Poole was riding the bench while Angel Reese was out and not with the team, or at least not with the team at games. And then when LSU went to the Cayman Islands Classic, Kateri Poole and Angel Reese were not in attendance. And that was like I think those are the first games where Kateri Poole wasn't with the team. But for the other games, Kateri was on the bench, but she just never got in. And now she's not with the team. We don't know why. As we've learned from this Angel Reese saga, like, Kim Mulkey's not gonna tell us what's going on with Kateri Poole. We don't know. We might never know what's going on with Kateri Poole. But for right now, she is not with the team. I've seen online that some people are saying that she got kicked off the team or something like that. I mean, we don't know that. I mean, according to what Kim Mulkey is saying, she's just not with the team. Not that she's cut off from the team or anything like that. But yeah, that's the big news. That's the big news. And Kim Mulkey is happy that Angel Reese is back. And yeah, we'll look at a couple more highlights from the press conference, but yeah, that's the big news, guys. That is the huge news, guys.
The floor together should be really, really good. It may not be smooth, but it should be really good because
So we're gonna get into a comment from Kim Mulkey about the idea of Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow playing together on the court at the same time. So there was a question asked about that, and here's Kim Mulkey's response.
Her playing with Morrow a little bit more will take place as we head down the season. But she's played with her in practice and things like that. So them being on the floor together should be really, really good. It may not be smooth, but it should be really good because Morrow's playing really good basketball right now.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Morrow. Obviously, the win over Virginia.
So yeah, that's what she had to say about Anissa Morrow and Angel Reese playing together. It won't be smooth, but they'll do their thing. Basically, they will do their thing. Go Tigers says, honestly, I think it has something to do with the whole White House thing, but hey, she's back. Does it? Does it have something to do with the White House thing? Big Bumbo 22 says, is UConn trending downward? Not the topic, but yes, they are trending downward. UConn is trending downward. Yes. Caitlin says, because Lotto and Flage were both on Rap Game competing. Oh, okay. All right. Go Tiger said, what do you think the difference between Angel Reese and LaDasia Williams and Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow is? So I really, really liked LaDasia and Angel Reese together. To me, I thought that was the perfect combo, and that truly is like LaDasia Williams is one of the unsung heroes from for LSU winning the championship. So LaDasia Williams is a player who's not flashy. She's not flashy. She's not going to get a ton of attention. But when it comes to post play, she does her job. She does the dirty work necessary. And I loved watching LaDasia Williams play. I think there's a huge difference between LaDasia Williams and Anissa, and Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow, because while Anissa Morrow and Angel Reese are like very talented post players, they're not, neither one of them can really do what LaDasia Williams did, if that makes any sense. Yes, they can score more points than her. Yes, they can score more points than her, and yes, they'll likely get a lot more rebounds than her, but like there were intangible things that LaDasia Williams brought to the court that they don't have. And I think in sort of looking at like Samaya Smith play this year until she got injured, I saw a little bit of that sort of like post player who is just doing a little bit of everything, even stuff that's not being called out on the stat sheet, that type of stuff. So to me, that's the difference. To me, that is the difference. Let's see. Stanches said, Stanches, I think that's how you say your name. Do you think this LSU drama will take away from the talent that is on the court this season? No, I don't. I don't think so, because there are a lot of teams doing a lot of amazing things. The problem is, controversy sells. It does. Controversy just does well. It just does. So people are interested in what's going on with LSU and Angel Reese and whatnot. But I also think that the people who really, really enjoy women's basketball, they're also talking about what Kiki Kiki is doing at USC. They're talking about what Hannah Hidalgo is doing at Notre Dame. They're talking about this amazing season that South Carolina is having. They're talking about NC State coming for everybody, basically. There's a lot of other games and a lot of other teams that are doing really, really well. And so yes, LSU is going to get their talking. Like, a lot of people are going to talk about them. But I think a lot of the people who are specifically only talking about LSU are sort of the peripheral people who are interested in women's basketball because of the drama and whatnot. And the people who really care about women's basketball, yes, they're engaging in the commentary about Angel Reese and LSU, but they're also engaging with like the awesome play that's happening from teams all around the country. So I don't think it's taken away from what's happening. Caitlin says, "How long do you think Angel stays on the bench before Kim puts her in?" I feel like Kim is gonna have Angel Reese start, because Kim really, really wants to win this game against Virginia Tech, and in order to put them in the best possible chance to win, I think you need to start Angel Reese. I think you need your best players on the court to start the game to compete against Virginia Tech, because that's going to be a battle. This is going to be 100% a battle, y'all. Y'all, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be pretty awesome. If you can hit that like button, thank you. So let's kind of go into some of these other clips of hers, of Kim Mulkey's.
Virginia Tech versus the team you played in the Final Four last year.
I try not to compare. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that as a coach you can compare teams unless they have everybody back, and they don't have everybody. They have 3 starters back. So you look at those starters, and then you look at the pieces around those starters, and you just go to work on how we're going to guard them. You don't say, oh, well, this one's better than what they had last year. This one's not quite as good. You just go watch film, and you evaluate, and you figure out what do we have to do to compete with them and possibly beat them.
We have time for a couple more questions here, guys.
So yeah, it's a new team for Virginia Tech. Not that new of a team, but LSU is going to have to bring it. They're going to have to bring it tomorrow if they expect to come out with the victory. I do, in terms of predictions, I think LSU has it. I believe they're going to win by like probably 8 points. It's going to be a pretty close game, but I think they're going to win. They're going to come out with the win, especially with Angel Reese back. I think they're going to come out with the win. If Angel Reese wasn't back, I'd probably say they lose. But with Angel Reese back, I think she's going to have a really good game because there's been a lot of talk around her. There's been a lot of talk around Angel Reese these last couple of weeks, and I think that that we're going to see Angel Reese step up, because she's like, all eyes are on me. In that first game against Colorado, all eyes was on LSU, and Angel Reese kind of laid an egg. Like she wasn't very, very good. Political Lil says, you can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all not hear me? I don't know, Political Lil. I don't know if that's just you, or if I'm actually having technical issues, but it's showing that my levels are looking pretty good. So I'm not sure. Let me know if y'all can hear me though. I hope y'all can. Yeah. Well, we will see who's okay. Okay. James said he can hear me. Okay. So I don't know. Political Lil. Oh, you can hear me now. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, that it's gonna be a really good matchup tomorrow. If y'all have predictions on this game, let me know in the comments below. Let me know who y'all think is gonna win this game, because it's gonna be a really good one. It's gonna be a really, really good game.
So she's been practicing by those comments. Well, tell us, what becomes aggravating?
I wasn't listening to it right before. Sorry.
So why are you here?
So here, okay, again, we're gonna get into these these back and forths that Kim Mulkey has with the press corps. Like it feels like she's more like, this year she's been a lot more aggravated than in years past with the press corps. I don't know if it's just me, but she seems to have a lot of back and forth between some of the reporters, because it feels like she sees like what they're trying to get, and what they're the angles that they're trying to go for, and she's like, nah, you're not doing that. But let's get into one of the back and forths that I thought was pretty interesting.
Not done.
I didn't know that, Scott.
Did you know it was 700?
No.
Chance to-
I know all of you will want to see her after the game. Angel will come right here and sit right here and answer any question you have.
going totally on a different track, but it is significant. You're going for your 700th win tomorrow night and trying to be the fastest person ever to 700 wins. I know you probably don't like to talk about yourself, but I have to ask you. You thought about that? That's something that other great coaches have not done.
I didn't know that, Scott.
Did you know it was 700?
No.
A chance 700?
No.
So
I don't even know what my record is. What is my record?
I guess 699 and 111, 112, something like that.
I don't know. I've been blessed. I've been blessed to coach great players. Coaches are only as good as their players. And I wasn't getting into this business. I was talked into getting into this business. And I'm so grateful that I was talked into getting into this business. It has the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, but it is a wonderful, wonderful profession. Until I have to deal with y'all. No, it's a joke. See, Katie, laugh. Make them laugh, Katie. They don't know my sense of humor. I don't mind dealing with you. What becomes aggravating is what, Glenn? Well, tell us. What becomes aggravating? So why are you here? If you're not going to listen to me, why are you here? Here's my point. Have I ever turned any of y'all down for an interview? Never. Unless I can't do it that day. Pretty much available, right? And all I ask as a coach is if I don't give you the answer you want, don't attack me for that. Don't attack and make it personal. Is that fair? Some of you take it to a personal level, and I don't understand that. I would never attack any of you for writing a bad article about me if you didn't think I made the right call. Let's just say, man, she was a bad coach tonight. She got out-coached. They should have won. That's fair game. But to attack somebody on a personal level, am I wrong about that? Yes or no? Well, they know who they are. Y'all know who they are. And I'm like, for not answering the question the way you think I should answer it, that's not journalism in my book. I just, maybe I'm too old. Maybe I need to get out. But I don't, you get realness with me. I had somebody tell me one time, you're a breath of fresh air, Kim. I said, what does that mean? You give us honest, real answers, and then we want to attack you sometimes for that. I said, well, I can't sugarcoat things. I feel like people want the truth, but I'm also going to do what? I'm going to protect my players. I struggle with that.
So yeah, that was a criticism that Kim Mulkey had towards the press corps, because she feels that they are, the way that they are talking about her, if she doesn't give them exactly the answer that they want, and she's sort of talking about it. Like, I think she has a valid point. I really think that Kim Mulkey has a valid point. Yes, it's not personal, but also remember that, these reporters have a job to do. They have to figure out ways to write. They have to write stories and write stories that'll interest other people and make them click. So like, it's a balance. It's a balance that yes, as a coach, I can understand you getting upset with the way that certain stuff is being reported and whatnot. And then I think from a just sort of a news perspective, I think some of these reporters are probably, they may have quotas or something like that, where they have to hit, certain amount of people who click on their articles and whatnot. And so, then it comes where they have to put some personal stuff in there, personal jabs or stuff like that in there to actually get people to click and be interested. I don't know. I feel like that could be a thing where, both people have a job to do. The press have a job to do, and Kim Mulkey has a job to do. And sometimes they do not, go eye to eye. But the press is not your PR. That's it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm seeing y'all talk about last Tear Poa. So let's get into some of y'all last Tear Poa comments. Political says Poa should be running the point. She is smart on offense and will take care of the ball, and she for sure to be the point on defense. Haley Van Lith is not a good on-ball defender. Yes. I agree, she's not a good on-ball defender. Yes. Mika says, I'm with Kim. Let the reporters know. Michael says, I've watched the press conference 3 times now. One of the best ever. It was a really good press conference. Like, I think love her or hate her, Kim Mulkey is real. She just is. You get what you get, and she's going to say it how she feels it, and she doesn't care what you have to say. Like, in a way that maybe this isn't the best tie in the world, but to me, there are similarities between Kim Mulkey and Coach Prime, where they're polarizing people that some people love and other people love to hate. Um, and they have a contentious type of relationship with the press. And they say how they feel. And that's, it's kind of one of those things. Hello there says Poa takes charges like crazy. Flage jumps the passing lanes. That defensive duo is lethal. I think so. I think LSU for sure has moments where their defense looks really good. And then they have moments when their defense looks pretty bad. So they have their moments. They have their moments. But in general, I really like last year Poa. For sure on defense, she's just better than Haley Van Lith. She just is. I think, I can't really see an instance where Kim actually benches Haley Van Lith for last year Poa to start at the point. I can't see that ever happening. Maybe, but I really can't see it. I can't see that happening. Is last year Poa talented enough to start? Yes. And when the season was over, before Haley Van Lith, before she opted to transfer to LSU, I was like, after the season was over, I was like, yeah, this is last year Poa's team. Like, this is her team now. She is going to be the starting point guard for this team because she's paid her dues, and she's ready. And then in comes Haley Van Lith, and I feel like kind of took her spot, in a way. And it's a bummer for last year Poa, but like she could play. She could play. Let's see. Kentucky Lucky says gossip sensationalism sells. It's just how it is. Yeah. It's sad though. It's kind of messed up. It's sad that that's what works sometimes, but yeah. I think you're right. Instead of just saying, like, reporting exactly what she says and like allowing the people to kind of read into it however they want, maybe, make sensationalizing stuff, make stuff, makes people watch more, I guess. And it's one of those things where like that's something that I even think about as I do this channel. Like I try my best to avoid being sensational about stuff. Like I want to like tell what's happening, but like I don't want to like dwell on certain stuff, which is why like I made that one video about Angel Reese and just saying here's what we know and here's what people are saying, but like not just sort of continuing on this. And the reason why I wanted to make this video, this live stream, was because I feel like this is like sort of newer news. Like this is not just like a rehashing of stuff that we already know. And I would say, guys, as you all are watching my channel, like, please call me out if you ever see that I'm like sort of like leaning into sensationalism and sort of like being a someone who's like trying to get like, is it sort of all in it for clicks? Because I feel like those types of people, they I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like when I see sports media that's sort of like all about like this controversy and strife and issue after issue after issue. I'm not interested in that, and I hope that this channel doesn't go into that. And I would ask that if you all ever see that from this channel, please call me on it. 100%. Please call me on it, because I definitely don't want to be that, for sure. All right, let's go into the rest of y'all comments. Political says these reporters know that HIPAA laws prohibit health information from being disclosed without the patient's permission. Maybe Reese has some mental health services for stress or depression or something. Yeah. I mean, possibly. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Angel Reese, so possibly, yeah. And that's definitely a way for Kim to protect her player and also, abide by the law for sure. Quinn says LSU has to establish an identity on offense. That's why I think they should play through Morrow. Then the shooters will get more open looks. So I think, so Quinn, with Angel Reese now back, I'm not sure if they can play through Anissa Morrow. I think if maybe Anissa is in with the second unit and Angel Reese isn't in, to me, yes, it makes sense. It makes sense to play through. Anissa Morrow, but when Angel Reese is on the court, I'm not sure how you don't play through Angel Reese if you're LSU. In my opinion, yes, it makes sense to play through Anissa Morrow if Anissa Morrow is in and Angel Reese isn't in. But if Angel Reese is in, I think it makes sense to do some sort of like high-low sort of like a tandem work between Anissa Morrow and Angel Reese. So if y'all watched South Carolina play in the past, there was like a really cool high-low dynamic that Camila Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston had, where one of them would sort of be like right at the nail, get the ball, and they would either shoot it, try to do a move to get to the basket, or they would dump it off to the other person who was like sort of more in the paint. And that was, to me, that was a really, really good like combo, like that high-low combo. And I think that LSU, if they're smart, which I think they are, they're going to start going into this high-low dynamic of maybe Anissa Morrow at the nail and Angel Reese sort of closer to the basket, and sort of working that dynamic, because I think that could be very, very successful. It might take a little bit of work to make sure to really work out the kinks of like when they should pass and when they should just sort of take it themselves. But like, I feel like that could be a pretty good dynamic. That could work. Quinn says South Carolina's bigs were better passers. Yes, they were better passers. But I think that Anissa is a good passer. I do. I think that Anissa is a good passer. Yes, South Carolina bigs were better passers, but I think that if you do the high-low and Anissa is at the nail, I think it could work out pretty well. I really do. I think it might take a couple of weeks for that to really, really develop, because yes, technically they both have played together so far, but they didn't play that much together before Angel Reese was like out for a couple games. So like we didn't really, really, really get to see what Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow can do together. And so I am very much excited and interested to see what they have to offer. Political says they will, and Morrow can stretch the floor more with her shooting abilities. Yeah, she can get a mid-range shot in. She can. Quinn says they were also taller to see over the defense. Yes, but I still think this high-low can work. Yes, Anissa and Angel are not the tallest people in the world, but I feel like it could work. I want to see LSU consistently try that. Not just try it for a couple games and like, oh no, it doesn't work. No, keep doing it, because I think if LSU is able to work out the kinks of that, before conference play starts, I think LSU can be very dangerous. I think they could be very, very dangerous. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about that idea. Let's go back up to some of y'all other questions. Let's see. AG Hawaii fan says, aloha, did I miss anything? Heard something about the LSU or something like that. Yes, AG. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, things to know is that Angel Reese is back. Kateri Poole is not. We don't know why, but she's not. Samaya Smith is out for the year due to injury. So that's what you missed. And we are talking about all of that stuff, and then we're talking about specifically LSU's game tomorrow versus Virginia Tech. So that's what you missed. Hello there says, I think tomorrow will be a grimy game. Yeah, it'll be a hard fought game, which I am very, very much excited about. Very, very much excited about. Honestly says, did you peep that by you even mentioning Angel Reese, you got 175 people in the stream and you aren't for the drama. But by mentioning Angel Reese, you got pumped in the algorithm. Yeah. Angel Reese, yeah, if you mention her, you're it's you really you really you really get a lot of people to react. But I'm hopefully that I'm not like yes, I'm talking about Angel Reese, but it's not like I don't know. Yeah. I want to talk about what's going on without being very dramatic about it. Like, so hopefully y'all see that. But if you don't, call me out. Please call me out on that. Kentucky Lucky says, I think you try to be factual and as objective as you can be. You are a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Quentin gave he gave a number. So Quentin says that I think the game score will be in the 80s. Possibly, yeah. As I said earlier, I think that LSU will win by 8 points or 7 or 8 points in this game. I think they'll win by 7 or 8 points against Virginia Tech. But we will see. We will see what happens. Caitlin says, do you think the conflict could have been between Reese and Poole, and that's why Poole isn't back yet? Angel owned up and she hasn't. I'm not sure because I thought that last what I last saw is that, you know, Kateri Poole and Angel Reese were very, very close. That's what I thought. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to like speculate and say something crazy, but like I don't know. Last time I heard they were close friends, but clearly something is going on, and that's why Kateri Poole is not with the team. But we don't know what it is. We will find out later, I guess. Quinn says, Quita, you do a fantastic job. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Quinn. Appreciate you. Brennan, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Brennan said Morris is so underrated. I believe she could be a true captain of the team. Are you talking about? Are you thinking about? Do you mean Anissa Morrow? Brennan, do you mean Anissa Morrow? Let me know. Who do you mean? You mean or Alexis Morris from last year? I don't know what you mean. Please update. Quentin says that Angel will not have an advantage against Virginia Tech. I think Angel Reese will have a good game. I think probably if Virginia Tech is smart, they will probably put Kitley on Angel Reese, and just see what Kitley can do on the defensive end. I think that maybe initially Angel Reese will struggle a little bit, but I think she's going to end up with a really good game because, as I said earlier, I think all eyes are on her. All eyes are on Angel Reese, and people want to see, is she going to be able to put up good numbers, or, you know, is she trash? You know, Angel Reese has proven to be a very good player, but there's been like a hype train around her, and I think there's a lot of people who want to see her fall, and I think she's recognized that, especially after that Colorado game, and I believe she's coming to play. I believe she's coming to play, and she is going to work her butt off in the game tomorrow. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens though. Honestly, it says Angel Reese doesn't do well with other bigs. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Political says they will, and Morrow can stretch the floor more with her shooting abilities. Women's basketball says I agree about playing through Morrow. We know Angel struggles with people bigger than her, and we haven't saw Anissa with bigs. But I think she would do better. I really think LSU needs to do this high-low thing. I know I keep talking about it, but I really think it'll work. I really do. I really think it'll work. Mika says that would be a good dynamic. Agreed. Would love to see Del Rosario in more as well. When she gets that confidence, she would be great. So yeah, Del Rosario, I really thought that she was going to have like an immediate impact when the season first started. So like Del Rosario I believe she was a top 5, like in the top 5 for the prospects for this freshman class. You know, she was such a talented big in high school. And I think it might take her until the end of the year or even until next year to really come into the player that she can be. Alida Del Rosario is very, very talented. I think it'll just take her a little while to have that shown on the college level. But with Samaya Smith out, Del Rosario is going to play. Del Rosario is going to play, and she's going to be able to learn while playing, which to me is going to be very, very helpful for her. Very, very helpful for her. Bear says, I want to see a lineup of Del Rosario at the 5 and Angel at the 4 with Morrow on the perimeter. With Michaela, with Michaela and Haley Van Lith at times. So that would be a really interesting connection. I would like to see Del Rosario at the 5 and Angel at the 4. Like that would be pretty interesting. The only thing is, I don't know about Anissa Morrow at the 3. So I know that if you look at LSU's website, I believe they have Anissa Morrow listed as a guard, which is something that I found like really interesting. I was like, what? Y'all are calling her a guard? Like I don't really see Anissa Morrow as a 3. I know she's trying to develop into a 3, but to have her sort of roam the perimeter and kind of be a threat from there, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best place for her. But you know, we'll see. We will see. All right, y'all. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be awesome. We got 156 people in here, 85 likes. If y'all can hit that like button. If we can get to 100 likes, that would be super awesome. Let's go back to y'all comments. Brennan says I would like to see them play full court press with triangle offense. They would be unstoppable. Yeah, we'll see. Bear 24 says I know for sure that the PMAC will be rocking. Yes. There are a lot of Angel Reese fans that are probably like, yes, I'm going to this game and I'm gonna watch this team play. Yeah. I tell you this much. if I lived around Baton Rouge, I would be at those games. I would be at those games because it seems like a fun place. It seems like a fun playing atmosphere for sure. Um, but yeah. So yeah, let's actually show the LSU website because I want to show y'all what I'm talking about with when I said that they had Anissa Morrow listed as a guard on their website. So yeah, let's go to it. So this is LSU's official website. And as you can see here, they have Anissa Morrow as a guard, a 6'1" guard. Anissa Morrow is trying to be more of a guard, but Anissa Morrow is a big. She plays like a big. Her skill set level is like a big. Oh, what's up, Holly? What up, Holly? Hello. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Yeah, so Anissa Morrow, they have her as a guard, but she's a forward. She's a forward that wants to be a guard, and I think eventually she can develop into a guard because she needs to develop into a guard. If Anissa Morrow wants a chance in the if Anissa Morrow wants a chance in the WNBA, she 100% needs to be a guard because she's too short. In the WNBA nowadays, maybe in the WNBA back when, 10, 12 years ago in the WNBA, yes, you could probably be a 6'1" forward and actually be pretty decent as like a power forward or something like that. But like nowadays in the WNBA, she's too short. So she needs to develop into a guard, but it'll take a little bit of time. But right now, they do have her listed as a guard. For those who didn't know, I just wanted to let you all know that. Let's see. Holly says Del Rosario is too soft. She got to get cocky with these. I'm not gonna say that. I get your point. Holly. Yeah, which is why I said like she has the talent. It's just she needs to develop more on the college level because, college ball is different. College ball is different than high school ball, which is and WNBA ball is different than high school ball. I mean, than college ball. So like there's levels to it, and there's sometimes when players get to the next level and they're ready right off the bat. If you look at a player like Hannah Hildago, that's a player who was ready at the next level right away. And that's not that normal. Like it's not often that you see players that are right, like really good right off the bat. For example, if you take a look at like Paige Beckers, she was one of those other ones as a freshman who was just amazing. But for the most part, players have to grow into their greatness, and that's okay, and I think that Aaliyah Del Rosario might be one of those players that is very, very good. It'll just take a little bit for that to develop on the college level. But when it develops, she's gonna be great. She is going to be awesome. Yeah, so that's personally my opinion about Aaliyah Del Rosario. I like her a lot. And I just can't wait to see how she plays. Sort of later in her college career. So right now, not the best right now, but I think she can really develop for sure. Oh, I got a super chat. Um, yo, thank you so much, Shakim. Which team can compete with? I assume by SC you mean South Carolina and beat them. So I would say NC State. At this moment, I'll put NC State up against anybody. NC State is they're just very good. They're just very good. And they not scared. Though they are playing right now. NC State is playing right now. I really want to see. Let's see what's going on with NC State. So NC State beat Vanderbilt just now. So now they are 8-0 on the season. NC State is a team that I believe they beat two top 5 teams. They want all the smoke in the world. They want the smoke. And I'm liking NC State. So I think they probably have the best chance. I feel like it's NC State and LSU that have the best chance to compete with South Carolina. But I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But I think NC State. I think LSU. I also think Stanford. I think Stanford too. So I don't know how much y'all have been following Stanford play this year. But Stanford has a Kiki as well. And Cameron Brink and Kiki Iraofen, they are amazing to watch together. Amazing. And I would put that up against South Carolina as well. So yes. So to answer your question, Shakim, I would say the 3 teams I would put to go against South Carolina are LSU, NC State, and I would say Stanford. That's who I say. But y'all tell me how I'm wrong in the comments. tell me how I'm wrong. Let's see. Mika says Paige is just amazing. Her court vision is just crazy. Has stayed consistent from high school to college. It takes some players time to gain that footing and confidence with college ball. Yeah, it takes some people some time, but for Paige, it took her no time. It took her no time at all. Grace by God says no. I don't know if that was because of my suggestion about NC State, LSU, and Stanford hanging in there with South Carolina, but I don't know. Clarify, Grace by God, clarify. What do you mean? Honestly says Stanford, Colorado, and SCU. Is that Southern California? And maybe NC State or UCLA. That's a new one. I guess I haven't seen Southern California as SCU. Yeah. I assume that's what you mean. But if you don't mean that, clarify, please. AG Hawaii fan says sad to hear Samaya's injured. Although this is off topic, but I did feel as injuries can be pretty scary for athletes. Not sure if I got the info correct. Is this? Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, AG Samaya's injured. She's out for the remainder of the year. No word on when she will have surgery. But yeah, it's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer for LSU for Samaya Smith, because Samaya Smith has had a really good year so far. Like, I've really enjoyed watching Samaya Smith play. Samaya is a really good player. And it's fun to see players thrive. And I felt like Samaya Smith was thriving. So like last year was more like a learning experience of sorts for her. Didn't get as much playing time, but this year, especially with Angel Reese out for a couple games, Samaya Smith was really doing her thing. And it was really good to see. So yeah, it's a bummer for Samaya Smith to get injured, and really praying for her to recover well and to be an amazing player next year, because Samaya Smith has a lot of talent. And I can see her as the years continue on, I could see her continuing to develop into a very, very good player. Shout out to Samaya Smith, and definitely prayers up for her that she's able to heal well, and be mentally and physically ready to go next year. Mika says, I put NC State up against anyone now. So good right now. Yes. Facts. Like, yes. They're very good right now. Quentin says, I think the team with the best chance against the Gamecocks are Stanford and Texas. So, Quentin, here's the thing about Texas. I say the jury is still out about Texas, because yes, they've been winning games, and yes, they've been playing really well, but they have not played a top talent team yet. They haven't played a really, really good team yet. And I just really want to see I really want to see them play against a ranked opponent, particularly a top 10 ranked opponent. They're looking good, but I need a gauge. I need a gauge for Texas. I need a gauge to really, really gauge their level of talent. And I believe they're playing UConn soon. So that'll be my gauge for Texas. So I'm holding out my opinions about Texas women's basketball until they play UConn. And then I'll be able to kind of gauge it from there. Written 12 says, agreed, Quentin. Elizabeth has height, but hardly the presence she should have. I assume you're talking about Elizabeth Kitley. Yeah, Michaela says Stanford and Cameron Brink is so underrated. Facts. Yes. Stanford's looking good. They really are. Honestly, says Stanford is playing with the ball flow of the Spurs. Like, the ball doesn't even hit the floor. Honestly, I think you mean like the older version of the Spurs, like the Mono Ginobili, Tim Duncan type of Spurs. I don't think you're talking about the current Spurs, because current Spurs they're not looking too good right now. The current version of the Spurs. But yeah, I get your point. I totally get your point. Yeah. They're playing some really good basketball. Mika says NC State took out Colorado. Yes, they did. Yes. Quentin says Kiki Iraofen is great. Facts. She is. Like, y'all. I don't know if y'all watched Monday's episode of Women's Basketball Weekly. If you haven't watched it, after this live stream, go on and watch that episode, because I talk about how if Kiki Iraofen, if there was a such thing as the NCAA sort of a most improved player, it would be Kiki Iraofen, because this girl has gone from, a okay player to a crucial player on this team. She has really, really developed. I'll talk more about Kiki Iraofen probably in a different stream that's not about LSU. And like we've kind of veered off the topic of LSU and talked about other stuff. But yes, Kiki Iraofen is amazing. Really, really good player. And I can't wait to continue to see Stanford play, because they're looking really, really good. Really, really good. To the point where, it's going to get to a point where like teams, they'll be checking more for Kiki than they are for Cameron Brink. Like, Cameron Brink is phenomenal. She is. She's going to be a top 3 player in the draft this year. She's very, very good. But it's good that she is so that Cameron Brink is so secure in herself and her talents that she's cheering Kiki Irafen on, and she's like she's doing everything she can to help her teammate, and she's like her one of her biggest cheerleaders. And I think that's awesome. I think that shows a healthy team culture where the star player, even if they're getting outshined by another player, they're still like, yeah, let's go, let's go. It's pretty exciting, and it's really good to see to me. Mika says, I agree with those teams taking on South Carolina, Quita. Quentin says UCLA has a good chance also. Yeah, I think they can. Okay, honestly, you're talking about Southern California. Okay. All right. Kelvin says, Quita, can you do a video on Jada Williams' struggles at Arizona? Yes, I can. Yeah. Jada Williams is one of those players who was like, it was like before she went to college, she was everywhere. She was everywhere. She was because she was sort of in that that sort of a high school hype video train type of thing. Like there's a couple of high school players that sort of get that treatment every year, where you just see them everywhere, and you just see like these viral clips of them crossing people over and just doing all this fancy stuff. She's one of those players who like had a lot of hype for her because of that. And now there's people who are like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you that girl like you were back when you were in high school and playing over the summer and like destroying these teams, So yeah, I'll make a video about Jada Williams. Yeah. UCLA, or Jason says UCLA looks pretty scary. A team people might be sleeping on. Kiki Rice is a killer. Facts on facts on facts. Yes. They look tough, and I am not going to sleep on Juju. She just keeps better. She just keeps getting better with each USC game. Yeah. USC is 6-0. Yeah. Juju is phenomenal. And I keep wanting to call her Juju Smith-Schuster. If y'all watch football, y'all know Juju Smith-Schuster, and he actually went to Southern California. So for me, I like, instead of saying Juju Watkins, I want to say Juju Smith-Schuster. But anyway, yeah, Arizona's not looking that hot this year. They're not looking that hot this year. Yeah, Alabama. I like Alabama. I forgot their coach's name, but she has a spunk to her. I think Alabama is one of those teams that technically, like, they'll have a not that great record, especially when it comes to SEC play, but they're a good team. And I feel like the SEC in general breeds a lot of that, where like these teams are like, in the SEC, they're kind of buried by like the giants of the league, which is such as the South Carolinas and the LSU's of the world, the Tennessees, but you have players who are pretty good. All right. All right. Any more LSU talk? Any more LSU talk that we wanna discuss? Yeah, because this this stream was about LSU, so I'll leave it to y'all. What is there anything else related to LSU that you all want to get into? Anything else regarding LSU? Let me know in the comments below. Anything else y'all want to talk about for LSU? because we have like we have Anna says boo in Alabama. Why? what you what you got against what you got against Alabama? Or maybe there's an inside joke that I don't know of. I don't know. um Edison says more Poa. All right, all right, all right. CCU says, why is no one talking about Kateri Poole? Yeah, we talked a little bit about Kateri earlier. According to Kim Mulkey, she's not Kateri Poole is not with the team. CCU says, I know Angel Reese is bigger name, but still, what about Kateri Poole? Yeah, so we talked a little bit about it earlier, but Kateri Poole is not with the team. We don't know what that means. But Kateri Poole is not currently with the team. She did mention Kim Mulkey did mention Kateri Poole in her press conference earlier, basically just saying that she's not with the team. So we don't know more than that, unfortunately. She's away from the team. I don't know that much more to say about it, which sucks because Kim did not elaborate on why Kateri Poole is out. She didn't say how long Kateri Poole will be out. So we don't know. So that's kind of I don't know. CCU, that's what we got. That's what we got. She's not with the team. Uh Kateri Poole she's a big player for LSU last year. A really, really, really big player for LSU last year. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That, she's a talented player. I hope and I pray that everything is okay. I don't know what's going on. But I pray that everything is going fine with Kateri Poole, and whatever the situation is resolved. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So sorry, CCU. That's what I have to say. I'm not gonna like severely speculate because I have no idea. I just know what what Kim Mulkey has said. Before Kateri Poole was not with the team, she was sitting on the bench, just riding the bench and not getting in the game. So those games where Angel Reese was not with the team, this was before the Cayman Islands trip. Before that, Kateri Poole was on the bench with the team, and she just didn't play. She just rode the bench. But I don't think I ever heard a reporter ask Kim Mulkey about that when Kateri was just sitting on the bench. So we don't know exactly what that excuse was, but now Kateri Poole and Angel Reese did not go to the Cayman Islands with the rest of the team. And now Angel Reese is back and Kateri Poole is not. So that's what we know, CCU. So yeah, that's all I can tell you, because that's all I know. How do I think Hailey Van Lith is adjusting? I assume you mean adjusting to the point guard position. I think she's trying her best. Like I think she's trying her best. It feels like one of those situations where she's like a duck in a pool, where she's just like pedaling really, really fast underneath the water, trying to catch up and trying to get where she's supposed to be. Hailey Van Lith is a shooting guard, but she's short, so she's trying to develop into a point guard, so she can actually have like a significant career in the WNBA. That's my opinion of it, and that's why she left Louisville, because she wanted to be a point guard. So she's struggling. I think she's struggling, but she has to play through it. If this is what she wants, she has to play through it. Yes, I would probably put last year Poa over her as a point guard. But also, I think you remember, yes, she's not a natural point guard, but Haley Van Lith can shoot the ball in a way that last year Poa can't. And so, I think that's another reason why, last year Poa won't start over Haley Van Lith, because, even if Haley Van Lith is not doing the best at the point guard role, you can still count on her to score. That's a thing. But she's struggling to adjust. She's struggling to adjust, but I think she's doing the best she can, and I think she just needs to continue to work at it. She just needs to continue to work at it, because it's a tough transition to go from a shooting guard to a point guard. It's a tough transition. And to do that in your last year of college that's a huge deal. And so, yeah, I shout out to Haley Van Lith. I mean, that's a big change. That's for sure a big change. Michael says Angel at the press conference tomorrow after the game is going to have some eyes for sure. A lot of eyes. Yeah. Holly says, Quita, do you still feel Anissa is not a good shooter? You said that a while ago. I think I take that back now. I think I take that back now, Holly. I think I take that back now. Anissa has been doing very well. She's been doing very well recently. Quinn says Poole is unfortunately not one of the top 8 players on LSU anymore. She may not be a top 8 player, but I think Kateri Poole is still a huge, big time player. Kateri Poole is a player that you can just bring in, and she can just do her job really well. And that's the thing that I really enjoyed about watching Kateri Poole last year, is because she wasn't putting in a ton of numbers. Like, she wasn't, but she was playing defense. She was being a really good role player, and she was doing her job. And that's all you needed. That's all the LSU needed. And I thought Kateri Poole did a good job last year. And I like her as a player, and I hope that she, whatever is going on, is able to get solved, because I would love to see Kateri Poole back in an LSU uniform. Regardless of if she's a top 8 player or not, like, she's a good player. And she was very valuable to LSU last year, and I believe she will be very valuable to LSU this year, especially come tournament time. So that's just my opinion. We got some new information. So Michaela, thanks for this info. Michaela says Kateri Poole went live on TikTok. I only caught a glimpse, but she said she's doing fine. Did she say what's going on at all? Michaela? Honestly says War Eagle. My peeps are an Auburn family, but from Philly. I'm from Philly, so I love South Carolina because of Dawn. Okay. Well, Mr. G, Kim Mulkey said that Angel Reese will be talking to the media tomorrow. So yeah. Unless that changes. But right now, Kim Mulkey said she's going to be talking to the press. So Jason said, let's talk about team culture on the bench with LSU. I hate seeing players get screamed on. Is it ever a winning formula? It often causes teammates to yell at each other as well. I mean, arguments happen on the bench. I don't feel like that's particularly unhealthy. And coaches yell at players. I also don't think that's particularly unhealthy. I don't think that's that big of a deal. So the key to me is I think coaches need to be able to, yes, yell at a player if they're doing something crazy or they mess up a player, like whatever. That it's fine to yell on the court. But I think you need to develop a relationship with the players before you start yelling at them so that they understand that like you yelling at them, like you don't hate them. Like you still care about them as people, even if they did something boneheaded and you're gonna yell at them for it. Like it to me, it's fine to yell. It's fine for coaches to yell at players. It's it's about it's less about that and the optics of that on the bench and more about what is the behind the scenes relationship that the coaches have with the players and that the players have with each other. So that's my opinion. Like I don't think it's I don't think it's a big deal for coaches yelling at players on the bench. But it is a big deal if the coaches are always yelling at the players and they also have um, behind the scenes, if they have a terrible relationship, then yes, that's important. But I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Um. So Quentin says, Quentin agrees with Jason. To me, Don Staley brought in a equally talented roster uh, and has managed to the egos and minutes masterfully. Okay, we got some Don Staley praise in the comments. Don Staley praise. Shout out to South Carolina. Written 12 says, yeah, Don gives people roles. Supers. Praises them and demands a lot and gets it. Yeah. So that I'm all in favor of players, of coaches, you know, praising players when they do something great, getting on them when they do something wrong, but then also having a good relationship behind the scenes with the players. Like I think that's huge. Um let's see. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Rin says Kim handled this well. She protected Angel's privacy, didn't embarrass her. She's tough but fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she made a comment before about she's protecting her players, and after she said that, I saw a lot of people were saying, well, you didn't protect Brittany Griner or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna get into the Brittany Griner thing, but in this situation with Angel Reese, I personally also like the way that Kim Mulkey handled it because she said everything she needed to say. When Angel Reese was not with the team, she said that. She didn't give any more. She didn't give any less. Though she did say there was, she did talk about locker room issues and dealing with locker room issues, but we still don't know what it is that's going on with Angel Reese. And I think that's a good thing because Angel Reese, well, as someone who wants to know what's going on, I want to know. But from a player perspective, I would probably think that's a good thing because it's like, hey, my coach is not going to throw me under the bus. So again, we don't know exactly what happened, but written 12, I do at this moment, I do think I am in agreement with your comment. She has protected Angel's privacy and has not embarrassed her. And we'll find out what happens. We'll find out what happens from here. Mika says yes, Poa at point. Yeah. I don't think it'll happen starting at the point guard position. I mean, well, maybe if Haley Van Lith starts to stink it up really, really, really bad, then yes, that'll happen. But like, she's not the best point guard right now, and she's struggling. But I don't think it's to the point where Kim Mulkey would actually bench Haley Van Lith for last Tear Poa. But that's just my thoughts. Brian says, do you think Angel makes the WNBA? Yes. Yes, she makes the WNBA. Yes. I hope that Angel Reese stays another year. I really hope that she does not go into the WNBA after this year is over. I hope she goes. She waits at least until 2025 to go to the WNBA. The only reason I say that is because we'll have 2 more teams, and also I think she'll develop a little bit more. She right now she'll go to the WNBA. She'll be drafted, probably with the 8th or 9th pick in the WNBA draft, and she will make the cut, I believe. She won't play that much, but I hope she stays another year so she can develop a lot more. So yeah. AG Hawaii fan says, this may be off topic though. I am excited to see what Juju Watkins has for Southern California. Yes. Juju's good. Juju, I think, is playing at a level where she is entering Paige Becker's territory, where Paige Beckers was player of the year as a freshman. I think Juju Watkins for sure has the ability to do that. She is so good. So good. And truly is the best person that is on her team. She's the best player on her team, and there's a dramatic difference when she's not on the court. Like, she really is one of the most valuable players in women's college basketball right now as a freshman. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing, y'all. That is amazing. Mika says Morrow showed out against Virginia. Facts. Yeah. This weekend was really good for Anise Morrow. It was very good for Anise Morrow. Quinn says no arguments with your Poole take. CCU says LSU needs to tighten up their defense. Before SEC play, I think they beat Virginia Tech, but need to work on their defense. Yes, they do need to work on their defense. Yes. Haley Van Lith and Angel Reese got cooked on the defensive end in the first few games. Yeah, they need to get better at that. Let's see what else y'all got to say. What other LSU stuff y'all want to talk about? Let me know in the comments below. Brian says, what do you think LSU chances are making the Final Four this year in the national championship, in your honest opinion? So I still have them making the championship game. Like, I still have them making the championship game. I think it's going to be probably South Carolina and LSU in the finals. I mean, yes, LSU did lose a game this year. They lost against Colorado. But to me, that was a wake-up call for them. And yes, they've had some suspect games. However, I still think they're gonna make the championship game. I still think it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's my honest opinion as of this exact moment. But we will, as they continue to play games, we will see. Maybe my opinion will change after the Virginia Tech game, but yeah, as of right now, I think they'll make it, at the very least, to the Final Four. Probably the final game. Let's see. Mr. G says, in that case, I must tune in. I'm sure she will say all the right things to protect her NIL deals. Yeah, she will. And I think that's smart. I think one of the things that I have really enjoyed about this new crop of women's basketball players, especially in college, is that they're business savvy people. These are not just like ball only people. They love basketball, yeah, sure, but they're also worried about their brand, and they they have people around their corner that have taught them that your brand, your name is worth a lot of money, and you need to be smart with that brand and name. And so yeah, she's gonna say all the right things, and that's smart. Like as she should, as she should. I'm sure she has people in her corner that's helping her and coaching her on what to say and her responses and her look and all that stuff. And I don't think that's anything wrong with that. I think that's great. Um, she should do that because it prepares her for the next level. So yeah. Nolan says, "Hi, Quita. Indiana, a couple buoy win. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Um, yeah, I don't know what you mean. please, please clarify. Please clarify. Let's go down the line. Oh, I see. Okay, you clarified. Okay. Hi, Quita. A couple big wins for Indiana last week. Princeton and Tennessee. What do you see moving forward for the squad? You know what? I don't quite know. I like Indiana. I think they're pretty interesting of a team. I don't know how far they make it though. I I don't know. Nolan, I need to think on Indiana a little bit more. Let me circle back with you on Indiana. I need to think about Indiana a little bit more. But what I will say, Princeton, I like Princeton. I really like Princeton. I really like the way that Princeton is playing this year. Um, yeah, I really like them. Even with some of their losses, I feel like they're playing really good basketball. Um, they're a really really well coached team. Um, and they don't have like the best talent in the world, but they're playing like a team, and they're playing like a well oiled unit, and I just really like Princeton playing. I really like Princeton. But yeah, I'll get back to you on Indiana. I'm kind of waffling on my actual thoughts about Indiana. So, Earl says really knowledgeable. Quita, did you play? Yeah, I used to play. Yeah, I used to play. I played basketball. I've watched basketball all my life since I was literally a kid, like really 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 little kid. My dad was a huge 90s Bulls fan. And so I grew up on that, and then I was a big LA Lakers fan, Sacramento Kings fan, LA Sparks fan, women's college basketball fan all around. I did play basketball all throughout my youth until college, or yeah, I stopped my senior year. After my senior year of high school was over, I stopped playing basketball. And I feel like I've told this before, but I was a post player. Um, and when I was a kid, I was really tall for my age, and so I really developed into a really good post player. And like in the post, I got you, I got you. Like you ain't scoring against me. I can score some buckets and all that stuff. And as I got older, I just like, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a girl, I'm a girl. And I continued to play a post player. I was like a power forward in high school. Um, and it got to the point where I sort of admitted to myself, like, I'm not gonna grow anymore. Like, I'm way too short to be going into college playing a post player, like post position. Yes, I can still hold my own on defense, and yes, I could score, but not as good as I would be if I was actually tall. And like I didn't like the idea of being on the bench. Like I'm one of those players who was not a bench player. Like I did not. I started. I did not ride the bench, and I just couldn't imagine going to college and riding the bench. Like I just couldn't do it. So I was just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. So yeah, yeah. But I love basketball. Let's see. D Barnes said, I think a coach has to be very careful yelling at players on the bench, especially with women talking, coaching on the bench, publicly humiliating a player gains nothing. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I agree. Definitely don't publicly humiliate a player. I I think maybe I think maybe what I am saying is different than how it's interpreted. I don't know. Like I don't think yelling at a player is humiliating. I don't think it is. I mean, yeah, if you're like berating a player, yes, that's humiliating. But like if you're if they come on the bench and you're yelling at them because they messed up something, I don't think that's humiliating. But it's the way it's done. It's the way it's done. Like if you're like hovering over a player and like, dude, you did this and that. Like, okay, that's yes, that's humiliating. But like just yelling at a player for like not doing something right, I don't think it's that. I don't think that's a big deal. But maybe I'm thinking something different than what you're writing. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Um. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh. As well, it would be good to see how deep you get there. Is Mikey Williams? Not for Arizona. Um. Let's see. What else am I missing? Women's basketball said I did too. I was confused. Did they expect Kim to embarrass her? Maybe. Maybe. Um like if it's because low GPA, why would Kim embarrass her like that? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's protecting Angel Reese for sure, which I appreciate. I do. And if I was Angel Reese, I'd appreciate that as well. Hannah Hidalgo has been great on both sides of the ball. Yes. Y'all, Hannah Hidalgo is leading the country in steals per game. And this girl has more steals per game than a bunch of teams around the country. Like, that's amazing. Like, Hannah Hidalgo is where it's at. Like, that girl, she is hungry for the basketball. She is hungry for, and like, it's awesome to see. Like, I really love defensive minded players because not only can Hannah Hidalgo score, but it's like her defense fuels her offense. And I feel like that's kind of rare for a player for that to happen, for their defense to fuel the offensive play. Like I think, and that's what brought and that's partially what brought Notre Dame back in this game today. Like it was the defense that did it. Women's basketball says, "Is it me or do Kim favor Haley a bit?" Do you mean favor her in looks or favor her as in she gives her preferential treatment? Um, in looks, I mean, yeah, like, well, not really. I mean, kind of. Well, I mean, if you look at when Haley Van Lith does the pigtails or whatever, I feel like college version of Kim Mulkey did that. In terms of favoring, favoring her over other players, I think that Kim Mulkey recognizes the offensive greatness of Haley Van Lith. Yes, Haley Van Lith is not a point guard, but Haley Van Lith is a really good shooting guard, and so I think Kim Mulkey sort of weighs the pros and cons about that, and it feels like she tends to opt to just have Haley Van Lith in the game, even if um she's not the most effective point guard, because at the end of the day, Haley Van Lith can still score the basketball. That's my take, but let me know what you think about that. Quinn says, I agree with your Juju take. Mika is saying, loving these freshmen have been on fire, loving this 2023 class. Facts. Like these freshmen are built different. Like this feels like one of those transformative years of women's basketball where we're gonna take another step, another step when it comes to the growth of women's basketball. Like, and I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Mika has LSU in the championship game as well. Women's basketball says, if you had to rank this freshman class, where would you rank it out of every class of all time? So I cannot say. Like, I think this class ranks very, very high. Is it, like, in terms of ranking it in comparison to other classes? I think I would need to make a spreadsheet because there's been some really, really good women's basketball classes, and I don't want to, like, forget a year that was, like, really good. So I will hold your question for a later time, because I really, actually, I might make that one of my Monday episodes to talk about the history of freshman classes and doing a ranking of them. So maybe I'll hold that for a future episode, because I really want to dive into that, but I don't want to forget certain years and not count those. So yeah. I'll get back to you. I will get back to you. D Barnes says LSU has some problems to clean up before March. Yeah, they do. Yep. CCU says, unpopular opinion, but LSU does not have a bench after watching the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter versus Niagara. So I think yes, they do have a bench. It's so, in terms of players, well, now it's kind of weird because you had Kateri Poole. Now Kateri Poole is not with the team. You had Samaya Smith. Now Samaya Smith is hurt. So now their bench is looking a little bit suspect, but you know, you got Del Rosario, who's very good. You have Del Rosario, who is has a lot of great potential. Still needs to really develop into the college game a little bit more, but really has potential and and you can sort of bring her in and have her fill some minutes. You also have Tear Poa, who's very, very good. You have Angelica Velez, who, jury's out on Angelica Velez. I think she is going to develop into a very, very talented player. I think she just needs to she needs to play more. She needs to play more. And she just needs more opportunities. Like, that's just flat out. She just needs more opportunities to actually get in games for her to actually develop. Jason Stewart says, please do a Jada Williams video. Yep, I will do it. I will do it. D Barnes says, if LSU and South Carolina met today, it's South Carolina all the way. Earl says, what's your opinion on the portal for women's basketball? It's destroyed Maryland's program. Yeah. Yeah. It's also, I would also say it has kind of destroyed Oregon's program as well. Lots of players have left Oregon as well. I mean, the transfer portal, love it or hate it, is here to stay. I think it's going to take a little bit more time for us to really, really figure out what this means for the future of women's basketball. Because we're still, believe it or not, we're still in the infancy period of this sort of transfer portal madness. We really are. And we're now starting to see what the transfer portal plus what NIL does, and when you combine them together and how like it creates this like beast of a thing. Um I I feel like I'm neutral about it. It's not a love or hate about the transfer portal. It's about how coaches need to develop a little bit more for the newer player that's out there. So the days of players suffering through it and riding the bench for a couple of years until they earn their keep, those years are gone. That's done. That's done. Coaches can't do that anymore. You're not going to be able to do that with some of the top talent, which is why you have players like Lauren Betts, who left Stanford to go to a team where she knows she's going to play and she's going to be a star. She didn't want to ride the bench. She didn't want to play second fiddle, and that's something that coaches have to be okay with. You have to be okay with that. And it just sort of is what it is. It sort of is what it is. There are a lot of very, very talented X and O coaches who need to get on board with the way NIL works, with the way that players expect to play coming in, or there has to be a managing of personalities. I feel like a lot more now than ever before. And I think it's just an adjustment that coaches have to be ready for. And it's also an adjustment that programs have to be ready for in general, where they need to cultivate relationships faster, because immediately the player can just like jump in the portal and leave, and it's not about finding core pieces that you can build your program off of. No, it's about literally every year you are building your program from scratch, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to be okay with consistently reinventing yourself. And so yeah, those are my thoughts about it. I don't think it's a matter of whether you love or hate it. It's the way you manage it that I think coaches really have to think about. Because now it's the player that's in the driver's seat. It used to be that the programs are in the driver's seat, where a program could waste several years of a player's talent by not playing them, and knowing that the player doesn't really have any alternatives. But now the player's in the driver's seat. So coaches, y'all better get, hey, you either embrace it or you go away. That's it. That's it. That is it. Let's see. What else are y'all talking about? Mika says, I would love to see Velez get more time. She was great in high school. Great point guard. Yeah. I really want her to have more minutes, because she could be a really, really good player for this team. Or she could be a really good role player for this team, especially as we go into conference play, and into NCAA play. So she could be really good. Kayla says, great explanation. Thanks, Kayla. Appreciate you. But yeah, if y'all disagree with my thoughts on if y'all disagree with my thoughts on the transfer portal, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. All right, guys. Let's see. Do we want to go back to looking at a couple more clips of of do we want to look at is there some more clips of the interview that Kim Mulkey had earlier? Let me know what else y'all wanna talk about because I feel like we talked about a lot. I feel like we talked about a lot. So next day air says I heard Poa and Poole were coughs tussling. The girly were fighting. I don't know where you heard that from, next day air. I don't wanna I don't I don't know where you I don't know where you heard that. If you could let us know in the comments where you heard that from. I have not heard that. So I would love to hear whatever whatever proof you have of that. Because yeah, I haven't heard of that. I have not heard of that. Yeah. All right. Nolan says the biggest thing is that we continue to support our girls and spread love. Going to be an incredible year. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a great year for women's basketball in general. Like I love it. And so yeah, I think as women's basketball fans, I think it's up to us to really just, do what we can to grow the game and to support the game, support these players, continue to engage with women's basketball content, continue to bring positivity, continue to uplift players when they're going through hard times. Like we you know, it really is up to us to help to grow the game. And as fans, we can do that by the way that we engage. So let's see what else I got to say. Hello there says this rumor was swirling was because Poa and Poole followed each other about a week ago, but social media is iffy, so who knows what happened. Unfollowed. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's basically what's going on. That is basically what is going on. I don't know. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to talk about? Um um Jason said, "Hey Quita, did you do a video on all those subscriptions you have to pay for?" Just yes. So um so so Jason, actually if you watch Monday's episode of Women's Basketball Weekly, I actually go over all the different subscriptions. So go to Monday's episode of Women's Basketball Weekly and you'll be able to it's like midway through that episode, you'll be able to take a look at that part of the video. I do break it down though. Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to let's go back to the Kim Mulkey interview. I just got one other clip I wanted to talk about. All right. All right, let's get into it.
We live in now. Some of you guys live in that world. I could give you the exact whatever you were looking for, and there were still going to be things written that you interpreted the way you wanted to interpret it. But there's also what's called the sacredness of a locker room. Have any of y'all ever been in a locker room as a student athlete at the college level? Raise your hand. The sacredness of that locker room. We don't let parents in that locker room. We don't let people in that locker room. There is a sacredness to a locker room. And I'm from that school, that what's in that locker room stays in that locker room unless it becomes something that's public, that you can't hide. But what goes on in that locker room, guys, it's still sacred to me. And it will always be. Hit me. Come on, what else?
Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty interesting comment from Kim Mulkey, and you know, she talked about the sacredness of the locker room and how, you know, that's kind of why she's cagey on like what's been happening, because she doesn't, you know, there's a sacredness about it. There's stuff about it that there's aspects that happen with with a team that they don't want everybody else to know. And I'm actually surprised that they don't let parents in the locker room. I'm actually surprised about that. I assume they would have, but yeah, I guess not. I thought it was pretty interesting. You know, and here's another one. That I wanted to show, and then we can see what else y'all want to talk about, and then wrap from there.
Do you feel like everything you guys did last year equipped everybody, Angel, yourself, her teammates, to handle moments like this? Is it not a big deal to y'all like it is to the other people?
Correct. We've moved on. We've moved on. You guys can hit Angel up tomorrow and she'll tell you the same thing. That happened how many weeks ago? And we have moved on. That's what athletes do. That's what coaches do. That's what programs do. We've moved on. And there's nothing more to discuss about it other than letting you know she came back, which I did, right? Because I knew I was going to be asked, right? So I did my opening statement, Scott, which I don't normally do. So I thought I answered all that. What do you think about it, Reed? You young in this business. You like it? Huh? It's awesome, isn't it, buddy?
All right. So yeah, that's what the coach had to say. That's what the coach had to say. Hello there said this was a really good stream. Thanks, hello there. Next day air says South Carolina is very scary. That's why I can't wait to see the game. It's going to be like an NBA playoff watch. DSPN D-Man says NBA in season tournament ? I mean, I'm watching it when I can. Yeah, the in season tournament is interesting. As people who watch WNBA, you know that the NBA was interested in doing an in season tournament for a while, and so what they did is they had the WNBA do it first. The Commissioner's Cup was that, and they wanted to see how it worked on a smaller scale with the WNBA before moving it to the NBA with the in-season tournament. So, I mean, yeah, it's. I will say that I really don't like the courts. I really don't like the court design. Because every court for the in-season tournament, it's like a specialty like design court where like it's like graphics basically on the entire court, and there's like a trophy for every court, and it's weird to have like a trophy on every court. Like I get it because it's a tournament trophy. I get that, but like you have some teams who have never won the NBA tournament with a trophy on the court, and to me the optics seem weird to me. I don't know. But anyway, this is not an NBA channel. But I do watch the NBA. Yeah. There's a lot of South Carolina talk. A lot of South Carolina talk. Kayla says, "Let the baby Gamecocks grow and play out of the spotlight. They don't want no free smoke. They're rebuilding." Oh, they're not. I don't think Kayla. I don't think South Carolina's rebuilding. They're here. They're not rebuilding. Holly says you got Instagram. Is that to me? If that's to me, yes, I do have an Instagram. Yep. You can follow me at Quita Loves Sports on Instagram. Robert says without Samaya Smith, Angel Reese will get bullied in the post. It's definitely a fear of that for sure. There's definitely a fear of that. But I think she's gonna step up. I really think she's gonna step up. D Barnes says one thing about Kim Mulkey, she runs her program. She's the boss. Can't fault her for that. Facts. Facts. Next Acer says stop the Caitlyn talk. Mulkey already exposed her. She's good. But next, the competition too crazy this year, and it's only getting better. Ask Kateri Poole. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. All right, let's just move on. I don't know what you mean. D-Man says the atmosphere is like watching a playoff game. I wonder if playing for the money or the trophy. Jason says thanks. Court looks like a cartoon. It does. It does. Quentin says Boston was a dog on the floor. I don't see that in Del Rosario, but she has room to grow. Yeah, I mean Del Rosario, she's a freshman. Though, we do have some special freshmen. We do have some very, very special freshmen in this class. But Del Rosario is going to grow into it. I think as time goes on, she's going to get a lot stronger. And she's going to start imposing her will. Because she has the talent. Like she has. Like if you look at how she played in high school, she has the talent. It's just about can she really show that when it comes to when it comes to like college. And I think it's going to take her a little bit of time, but she's going to get there. I think she's going to get there. Earlis, I hope I'm saying your name right. Earlis said solid post players are priceless. Facts. Yes. Yeah, solid post players are priceless. All right. So I think we are going to call it quits for the day. I do have a question though for y'all. So tomorrow there are 2 huge games, and I would like to do a quick poll to see what you all want me to do. So I, of course, am going to be watching basically a good amount of the games tomorrow. Most notably, I'm going to be watching the LSU versus Virginia Tech game, which is happening at what time is that game happening? That game is happening at 8 p.m. Central Time. I will also be watching the South Carolina versus North Carolina game at 6 p.m. Central Time. Both of those games are happening on ESPN. My question is, guys, I want to do some sort of I'm thinking about doing a stream after the South Carolina versus North Carolina game, where we spend the first part of we spend the first part of the live sort of going over the South Carolina North Carolina game, and then start talking about the LSU Virginia Tech game. What are y'all thoughts about that? Do you want a post game coverage for LSU versus Virginia Tech? if you do, that'll be late, So that game is at 8 p.m. Central Time. So a live stream for the post game will likely be at the earliest at 10 o'clock. So I guess my question is, are y'all interested in that? That's basically my question. Are you like, what's your interest level between a South Carolina, North Carolina post game recap versus a LSU Virginia Tech post game recap? Let me know. If y'all can post in the chat and let me know what y'all would prefer. And we'll go from there. Oh, all right, all right. Thanks for letting us know, Nolan. So for the Canadian people out there, Nolan has informed us that the South Carolina and LSU games are on TSN Plus tomorrow. So Canadian people, y'all gonna be able to watch this game too. Y'all gonna be able to watch this game. Kayla says post game for LSU and Virginia Tech. Adrian says, "Can we do the next day? Some of us have jobs." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. John Field says, "Hey, I love your takes on women's college basketball. Keep up the good work. Sorry about the grammar. Oh, you're all good. Go Tigers." we got an LSU fan in the house. Thanks, John. Appreciate you. Shondell says yes. South Carolina, North Carolina recap. Earl says, "Come on, as much as you want. The women's game deserves it." Kayla says, "Halftime check in for game 1, post game for game 2 with game 1 recap." Quinn says, "I like the South Carolina post game leading into the LSU game. That LSU post game would be mad late." Yes, that'd be very, very late. And Adrian, I think I am in agreement with you about also doing something the next day. Because some of us have jobs, including myself, who have to work the next day and get up pretty early. So yeah, I feel like I've had enough of a response from y'all to determine what we should do. Okay, next day Era says I'm down for the recap too. So here's what we'll do, guys. We will have we will do a live stream directly following the South Carolina North Carolina game, recapping that game and leading into the LSU game. And what we'll do is we'll probably stop the stream probably after like the first quarter or something like that. And then we will come back the next day after. We will come back the next day after the games are over. So on Friday we'll do one stream tomorrow at 8 o'clock. One stream tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central Time. And we will come back. We'll do a stream for like maybe 30 minutes. 8 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday. And then we'll come back on Friday with a live stream recapping that LSU game and just sort of talking about everything that happened. And we'll also, while we're at it, we'll also recap a couple of other games because it's not just LSU who's in South Carolina who's playing tomorrow. Florida State is also playing tomorrow. Indiana's playing tomorrow as well. So we can briefly go over those games, but like most likely we'll do LSU versus Virginia Tech on Friday. So I guess the question is, does 6 work for everybody? After on Friday a 6 p.m. live stream. I feel like that could probably work. Let's see. Kayla says no West Coast people. I guess not. Carl says, Carl's retired. All right. Shout out to Carl. You living your best life now. Holly says 10. That's past my best time, Quita. No, we're not. No, wait. No, we're not gonna do the stream at 10. Not gonna do the stream at 10. That's past. Honestly, that's kind of past my bedtime too. And it's 9:50 in Chicago right now. It's 9:50 in Chicago. All right, so guys, that's what we're doing. I hope everyone heard me. We are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow at 8:00, 30 minutes. We're going to recap the South Carolina-North Carolina game, lead into the LSU versus Virginia Tech game. We will come back the following day for a live stream at 6:00 on Friday. All right. All right, guys. I think we've got a consensus of people who said that that's cool with them. All right, guys. Yeah, I do want to just say a couple of quick things. Whoa. Shout out to Manini Kira. I feel like I'm butchering your name. I apologize about that. They say, "Hey, greetings from South Africa. It's 5:50 a.m. right now." Wow. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for watching watching this late. That's crazy. Shout out. But yeah, I just want to thank y'all so much for watching this live stream. I've been on for a while. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have been rocking with me for a long time, for like several months, some of y'all, and I really appreciate it. I really do want my channel to be all about loving and supporting the game of women's basketball. We are a community who just like to ride for the game. And that's really what I want to do. I want to cover what's going on, but I also want to make sure I tell the truth. I tell like my actual opinions about stuff, but I also want to make sure that I am at the end of the day uplifting people, uplifting players, uplifting teams, uplifting the game. And that's really what I hope to do, and I hope that comes across. I really appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are really, y'all have been really, really rocking with me. I really appreciate it. Like we have done some huge numbers over the last couple of weeks, and I am just like super grateful for y'all for really rocking with me. I really, really appreciate y'all. Like truly, truly do. Like I love to talk about women's basketball. I've loved to talk about women's basketball for forever, and now I finally have an outlet of people that I can like just talk to all the time about women's basketball, and I love it. So shout out to y'all. Shout out. Carl, thank you. Kayla, thank you. Good night. Thank you so much. Next Day Air. Thank you, Jason. Adrian, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Holly, you're a rock star, Harley. I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you, Holly. AG Hawaiian fan says, thank you for the live stream, Quita. Take good care of yourself. Mahalo from Oahu. All right. Mahalo. AG Hawaii fan. Vibin, appreciate you so much. Nolan, I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much. Y'all, it's been a long one. I did this whole thing without drinking no water. I'm about to go drink a whole gallon of water. All right, y'all. Y'all have been some rock stars. I appreciate y'all. Until tomorrow, guys. Bye.